welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Before we get started, I want to let you know that for calling someone a liar and laughing, jokingly calling them a liar and laughing, I have received 7 days in Facebook jail. So I will not be able to post these on Facebook for 7 days. So if you can let people on Facebook know any way that you can, and let them know they need to subscribe to the YouTube channel to see these to at least get the notification of these videos this week. And I'm really sorry. I'm just going to quit commenting, quit posting anything on Facebook except for this page. It's just crazy. And yes, I am a conservative, and that is why. So, on to today's episode. Someone asked me to do one on Rafe Hollister, and gladly I will oblige. This is on how Jack Prince, who played Rafe Hollister, was offered a regular role on the Andy Griffith Show and turned it down. Let's go to it. Now, Andy Griffith and the Rafe Hollister actor Jack Prince met on Broadway. They became fast friends behind the scenes of the Broadway show Destry Rides Again, bonding over their considerable talents for singing, and soon Andy was asking Jack to come by his dressing room to pal around. He invited him for coffee, but he didn't have any cream or sugar, Prince said. According to the Andy Griffith Show fan podcast, 2 Chairs and No Waiting, the first time I said I'd go get some for my dressing room, but Andy said not for any coffee to be drunk in my dressing room. So I learned I like my coffee black, just like Andy Griffith. This compromise over coffee was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. But once the Broadway show ended, the two men parted ways. Andy to his then brand new sitcom, and Jack to singing gigs he booked in Las Vegas. Andy would make a point to go and see Jack perform, because once he liked an actor, Andy truly became a fan. It was on one of those trips to see Jack sing that Andy floated the idea of Jack doing an episode of the Andy Griffith Show. Jack said sure, as long as it worked with his singing gig schedule. Andy was amenable to that, so in 1961, Jack appeared as the moonshiner Ben Sewell in the first season episode Alcohol and Old Lace. By this point, Jack and Andy had become the kind of friends who repaid each other's visits, so it was Jack's turn to drop in on Andy. Coming by the set unannounced, Jack surprised Andy, and then Andy surprised Jack by asking if he wanted to guest star in that week's episode, resulting in Prince's second appearance of the show as Luke Rayner in The Inspector. That second episode that Jack did led to another on-set friendship, this time with Andy Griffith Show director Bob Sweeney. Curious about Prince's Las Vegas show, Sweeney decided to make a trip and see Jack on his own turf. Afterwards, Sweeney found Jack and gushed, "Jack, I had no idea you could sing like that. We've got to use your singing in an episode." This laid the groundwork for the introduction of Rafe Hollister in the second season episode Sheriff Barney, which led to Prince's final grand appearance on the show. Finally belting out a tune in the third season episode Rafe Hollister Sings. Although Sweeney by that point had moved on from the Andy Griffith Show, Prince maintained a lasting fondness for the director, who pushed for him to sing on national TV. "Bob spoiled me," Prince said. "He was good, and we had great rapport. I could read his face, and he could read mine, and I would never work for a director that I had that much affection for again." On the Andy Griffith Show, Prince appeared in 6 episodes, only 3 times as former Rafe Hollister. That's not to say that the show didn't try to get him to come back to Mayberry more often. The story goes that Andy Griffith Show producers followed in the footsteps of the show's star and Bob Sweeney. They went to Vegas to see Jack sing, and afterward they approached the singer and asked him if he'd be interested in expanding the part of Rafe Hollister, becoming a regular on the show, as commonly seen as characters like Gomer, Goober, and Otis. "Nah, fellas," Prince said, "I'm a singer. When I can't sing anymore, I'll see about acting." Now, don't go thinking that Prince lacked respect for acting, though. Watching Don Knotts in his mind was observing a master at work. I have so much admiration for Don, Prince said. It's hard to come to comedy and do the scene the same on every take, or make exactly the changes you're asked to make by the director. He is by far the best actor I've ever worked with. Although Prince rejected becoming a Mayberry star as Rafe Hollister, and possibly a future where he became a singing sensation with his own show like Jim Nabors' as Gomer Pyle, he still became a familiar face to fans on the show. When he reprised the song he sings in Mayberry, Lonesome Road, on the TNN talk show Nashville Now in 1991, viewers were thrilled. According to the definitive Andy Griffith Show reference, another performance he gave in the 90s during an Andy Griffith Show cast reunion at Opryland in Nashville reportedly drew a large crowd of fans. Prince never did much acting other than the Andy Griffith Show, but remained grateful for the time he did spend in Mayberry. The reason I left Broadway, I was a singer, not an actor, Prince said, unless it was something really simple or something like the Andy Griffith Show come along, where you're working with all these talented people like Andy and Don and Bob Sweeney. The ambience on that show was great. Such pride. Everybody on the whole crew, from the writers down to the lighting men, were proud of their work, and I'm proud to have been a small part of it. And it's a little bit long, but that's my video on Rafe Hollister. I'm hoping people see it since I'm in Facebook jail for 7 days. So, if you can, go to the community page on my Facebook page. And not many people go there either, but kind of post on there that I've been locked up. Me and Otis is having a grand old time. Have a great day. God bless, and I'll be praying for you.